So like what I've mentioned, effective interest method is what PFRS 9 requires us to use if we are amortizing or if we have this amortization of bond discount and premium. So, again, according to PFRS, ito yung gagamitin natin. PFRS 9 specifically. Now, what do we have to consider or what do we have to remember if we are using the effective interest method? In effective interest method, we have two rates. Okay, may dalawa tayong rate. We have the nominal or the coupon or the stated rate. Ayan, so lalagay ko na lang nominal ha. Pero nani siya laing term. We have the coupon, stated rate. So nominal rate. So this nominal rate, mao ni siya kadtong makita nato sa face sa bonds. Okay, unsa gani ning bond indenture, di ba mo may murag certificate nga ihatag sa imuha that you are holding this amount of bonds, ito yung interest niya, ito yung semi-annual payment niya, January or July ba, ito yung maturity date niya, ganon. Okay, so siguro later kung kaya sa ko internet, mag-share ko unsa ng bond indenture. So you'll have an idea unsay porma ana niya, unsa tong mga naas sulod ana niya. So para siyang share certificate but it's more of the point of view of utang. Okay? May interest, kanus bayaran, etc. And we also have this another rate. Let's just call this effective rate. This is sometimes called as yield or the market rate. Okay? So we have the effective rate. Oh, the nominal rate is in the face of the bonds. Mao ni siya ang nasa sa papel. Okay? Sa papel sa inyong kasabutan, but the effective rate is actually the true rate. The true or your actual rate. Therefore, kanigyo dapat ato ang ma-earn nga interest. Diba? Unsa ganitong ato ang benefit basta naatay investment in bonds? Interest. So, this should be the actual interest that we are going to record or recognize in our books. So, we're done. Kabalong taon sa ning nominal rate, unsa ning effective rate. Now, let's compare the two. Why is it important for us to compare the two? Because if we have discounts or premiums, those two rates are not the same. Okay? Now, if effective rate, let's start with this. If our effective rate is greater than our nominal rate, for example, this is 12% and this is 10%. If this happens, we are going to recognize a discount. Okay, so by looking at the rate, makadiscern na ka kung discount ba siya or premium. Di ba, napuntay laing hint. Yung first hint na binigay ko dun sa parang value niya, pag less than 100, pag sinabi niyang the acquired at 94, discount. Pero pag sinabi niyang acquired at 105, pasabot premium. So what if wala ing ato? So dili nimo ma-discern dayon. So pwede ka mo tan-aw diretso sa iyahang cost. So okay ra pod, imo ra pod tong mahibalaan. But if wala na naman, na mga instances na hindi ibibigay ang cost, hindi rin yun ibibigay yung 100 or less than 100, you can look at the rate and you could determine if it's a discount or a premium. Nganong discount man ni ma'am? Balikan natin si asa to kung gidrawing gahapon na discount. Ay ito. Ito 'yon, 'di ba? Okay, nganong mas dako man si effective rate this time? Kasi naatay ginaapas nga FA or face amount, 'di ba? Our goal is this one. Kani man ato ang goal. This is our goal. So kailangan maapsa nato na siya. And para maapsa nato na siya, dapat the true rate, sa ganitong true rate, 'di ba? It's the effective rate, dapat mas dako kaysa sa rate nga atong nasabutan or kadtong naa sa ato ang face of the bond. Okay? Kasi kailangan nato na siya i-achieve. So dapat mas dako ang ato ang actual rate. Now, Pag abot pod sa premium, balipod. Kailangan ta magpaubos because our goal is andito lang. Itong FA or face amount. So, kailangan nato munaog. So, para munaog ta, dapat si effective rate, the true rate, should be less than our nominal rate. Okay? Nakuha ra ba? So, ayun. Let's plot ano daw to? Let's plot those concepts here. So again, if your effective rate is less than your nominal rate, you have this premium. So balihon lang. Example, your effective rate is 10 and your nominal rate is 12, then that is a premium. Now, unsa maning effective rate, unsa maning nominal rate? Your effective rate, we compute your effective rate by multiplying your carrying amount, okay? Your carrying amount times your effective rate. So that is, again, ano to? That is your carrying amount times the effective rate. In doing so, you will arrive this, what we call the interest income. Your total interest income or your interest earned. Kaya di ba mao man niya atong true rate, so dapat na po niya atong true income. However, your nominal rate will help us recognize how much is the income or the interest received. So how do we compute for that interest received? Katong typical nga cash, debit, and then credit, interest income. Unsaon ganito pag-solve? Face amount times your nominal rate. Okay? Remember katong ato ang problem kaganina nga every February 1 and August 1, that was 6 million times 12% times 6 over 12. Inga na raman, di ba? So the 6 million there is the face amount, right? And the 12%, that was the nominal rate. Then that was the actual cash nga atong na-receive. So basically, lagyan na lang natin para dili ta malibog, cash. So ma'am, kaning effective rate, dili cash, partly cash, partly non-cash. So, nganong non-cash man ma'am, unsaon man pag-receive? Ang part ana for the amortization of the bonds. Ang another part ana for the receipt of cash. Something na ato ang i-demonstrate later. So, going back here, we have the interest income earned, the interest received, or the cash. Now, sabi ko nga, hindi sa lahat ng panahon equal to. Kasi nga, ang difference nila, if we are going to compare this, the difference will be the what we call discount or bond amortization. Ang kalahian or the difference between pila imong na-receive o pila imong dapat nga ma-earn is the amortization of your bond and of your bond discount and premium. So again, sa ganito to, ang premium aka loss, di ba ni? So if this is a loss, what will happen to your interest income? Interest income will go down. That's why we credit. You credit your income para munaog. Discount, however, is aka gain. So if it's a gain, your interest income should go up. And how do you increase income? You decrease income by debit pala yung sa taas, tapos credit dito. Alright. Ayan. Okay? So that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Medyo taas-taas. So wala mo tayo board. So, sige. Ito na lang hinahinayan. So, inga na ha. Okay, so we now have these concepts in hand. Let's have an overview of your amortization table. So, ato na lang sa i-discuss ta ng concepts before we go to some problems or illustrative problems. We have this amortization table. Actually, kato akong gidiscuss kaganina, makita ra pud to dinhi ah. Ato lang i-arrange, okay? So, in your amortization table, you will see there a date. Pangit naman ang penmanship ko. You have their date, and then you have your interest received. Unsa ganitong interest received? Ang imuhang nominal rate, okay? Nominal rate. So, focus ta dinhi ah, nominal rate. And you also have your interest income, your true or actual interest income. So, this time, we will focus on the effective rate. So, kabalo na taon sa ni pag-compute, right? Ako ning gingon ka ganina. Interest received, you have face amount times nominal rate. And your interest income, you have carrying amount times effective rate. So, yun, dali lang. So, kung gusto mong lagyan ng formula, so, pwede mo ilagay dyan. So, ako din ako magbutang kay limited akong space. What else? The difference between the two, that is what we amortize. So, we have here the amortization column. The difference between these two will be amortized. And then, eventually, our carrying amount. So, how do we compute for our carrying amount? Kung pila imuhang beginning, and then plus or minus the amortization, then your next carrying amount. So, nganong plus or minus man, ma'am? Unsa ganito? Basta discount, kailangan mosaka. So, this plus if it is a discount. Or minus the amortization if it is a premium. So, kung pila ni dire, plus discount equals kani. Or, kung pila ning sa taas, minus the premium equals kani. So, dili na kay duha lang na siya ka row. Pwede na siya 5 ka row, 6 ka row, depende kung unsa kadugay ang imuhang bonds. Okay? So, depende sa date. So, that is our amortization table. But this table is only applicable if your bond is, asa naman to? If your bond is a term bond. Okay? Unsa man ang term bond? Kanang isa lang ka maturity date. Ika-isa lang mo bayad og principal ang imuhang investee or ang katong issuer sa bond. Term date or lump sum, isa lang. So, one maturity date. Kaisa lang siya mag-mature. Dili siya permi mag-mature. Immature. One maturity date. So, overlap na lang nako kay wala na ko space. So, this amortization table is applicable if you are holding a term bond. Now, napadaylain na klase sa bond, ma'am. Yes, natay ginatawag na serial bond, dili serial killer. Serial bond. Unsay pasabot anang serial? Unsay pasabot anang serial killer? Di ba pasabot ana kanang daghan na kag napatay or kanang from time to time na ay sunod-sunod na death. So, sunod-sunod na murder cases na ikaw isa lang ang suspect. So, ingana pod ang bond. Dili kay ika-isa lang ang maturity, but there would be more than one maturity date. So, it could be every year magbawas ang iyang principal hangtod sa mahurot ang principal. So, that's why it is called serial, because there would be a series of principal payments. So, how do we present the table of amortization sa kaning serial bond? It's almost the same sa ato ang term bond, kaso na lang tayo madagdag. So, we have the date here as usual. Date laging nauuna. And dili na mo agi akong ballpen. Wala na i-ink akong ballpen. So, we have date here. And the same lang gihapon, we have the IR, the II, and your amortization. Kaya nga lang, before ta maabot dito sa carrying amount, napatay another column. It is your principal payment. Kay di ba every year gani siya magbayad og principal. And then eventually your carrying amount. So ganun pa rin NR dito, ER dito, and then the difference will be your amortization plus kung discount minus kung premium. So your carrying amount this time, how do we compute for our carrying amount? Beginning plus discount minus your principal payment. So, minus lagi yung principal payment. Binayaran ka na nga, di ba? So, dapat bawasan mo na yung utang niya. So, minus principal payment and then you will have your carrying amount. Or, carrying amount minus discount. Ay, saan ito kong gi-encircle ganina? Plus. Ay, minus premium rather. Minus premium minus your principal payment equals your outstanding bond investment. Ayon. So, nalang siya gagmay nga changes pag abot sa serial kay naa na ning payment. So, this is something new pag abot sa serial bond amortization table. So, ayon. Okay, lastly, isa ko na lang dyan natong discuss ang concept. There might be times na hindi niya ibibigay ang cost or acquisition cost sa imuhang bonds. Instead, na siya ihatag na present value. And these present values will be used para makompute nimo ang market price of the bonds. Ang market price is computed as, sige, dito na ako ibutang ha. Market price equals present value of your principal payment plus present value of your interest payment. Okay. Present value of your principal payment and present value of your interest payment. Now, unsa man nga mga present value, ma'am? So, if you have your business, math and investments or business math, I think, inyo na ning na-encounter sa inyo nga subject na business math. So, hopefully, inyo na-encounter. Okay? So, how do we, how would we know which present value factor ang gamiton? So, ganito lang. If you are concerned about lump sum payment or term, kung lump sum or term, kanang one time lang ha, kung one time payment, you use PV of ordinary annuity of 1. Okay? PV of ordinary annuity of 1. So, di na makita si 1. Of 1. Ayan. Now, if it is installment or serial, pareha sa imuhang interest. Di ba interest is installment man na every year? Dili man na kay one time lang ginahatag. Every year na siya ginahatag. If it is installment or serial, we use present value of 1. PV of 1. So, naay kalahian. PV of ordinary annuity, PV of 1. So, na ako'y hint na pod. If you are using PV of 1 or if it is installment, kadalasan ana, that's greater than 1. If it is lump sum or term, that is less than 1. Okay, that's 0.9, 0.86, ing ana. Pero kung PV of 1, kadalasan ana, that's 2.5, 3.7, ayan, more than 1. Okay? Now, kung dili pod ka kabalo mag-compute, kay wala ka nakaagi og business math, o diba? So, accounting, tapos business teacher na pod ko ani ron. So, let me present to you the formula na lang din. Present value of ordinary annuity, wala to sa book, wala dun sa PDF whatsoever. And, ano na nangyayari sa ballpen ko? Kailangan natin ako mag-refill og ink. Okay. Kadali lang. PV of ordinary annuity of 1. Ay, di na gyud noon siya magana. That will be 1 minus 1 plus your interest rate negative n. N there is kung ang term, pila ka years, ikapila magbayad. Okay? And then, divided by interest. Ma'am, negative, yes, negative ang exponent. So, kung ang imong gamit na calculator is katong, what do you call that calculator, good? Kana ganing pangtindahan, which is the one required by the PRC, lagot kaayo. Kanang dili scientific, okay? Simply put. Kung dili scientific imong calculator, you cannot input this formula. Walay negative exponent ang pangtingdahan na calculator. So, maghanap ka sa net kung paano. Hindi ko kasi alam. Nakalimutan ko na. Okay, short-term memory. Now, what if you are using the PV of 1? The formula is simply 1 plus the interest and then the number of payment. Number of times kung kanus magbayad. Okay? That's negative n. Again, wala yan dun sa typical na calculator. But for your level naman dito sa book, binibigay niya naman yung mga present value factors. But in case wala. Uy, may tumatawag. In case wala, then mag-compute kayo. Okay. Hello? Ay, excuse me muna. Hello po? Kinsa ni? Ay, kuya, nagklase ko. Wow. Sana all. Nagunsa mo digos? O sige. Okay. Sure dara uy. Nakoy klase yo, tibukad log yun. Until 11. Ano Sabado? Okay. Hala, dili ko sure sa Sabado ya, murag manglakaw mi. Karon, kuya, nagklase ko. Pwede mga lunch? Ay, sorry po, sir. Okay lang, sir? Sige, sir. Lunch. Sige, thank you, sir. Bye-bye! Alright, so, akala ko si home credit na naman. Ibababa ko siya na. Bakit ko kasi sinagot? Mali yung na-click. Anyway, so it was an important call. I'm sorry, I need to pick up the phone. Okay, ayan. So, yun yung magiging concepts natin as we go along this bond investment, effective interest method journey natin. So, before we answer the assignment, answer muna natin yung ibang problems na pinresent ko yesterday sa GC. Okay, let's start with enormous company. Okay? Hanapin natin si enormous. Andito si enormous. Is it this? Ay, hindi. Si Jest. Rain. Ayan, enormous company. We are required to prepare journal entries for 2019 and we are required to prepare an amortization. Okay. Entries din pala. So, para kabalutag unsa atong ibutang sa entry, kailangan din nating mag-prepare ng table of amortization, simply put. Enormous company acquired 6 million 12% bonds on Feb 1, 2019 for 5486. Ayan. 6 million daw ang face amount. 5486 atong gibayan. Is this a discount or a premium? Looking at the figures, discount to kasi mas mababa ang cost. To be held as financial asset at amortized cost. The bonds pay annually. Ito, gusto ko basta annually. Ayoko ng semi-annual. Nakakapagod. Annually on February 1. Yun lang, kasi February, hindi December. And mature on February 1, 2023. Pero okay lang. At least, February pod nato siya gipalit. Then, February pod iyahang payment. So, wala tayong accrued interest or wala tayong interest income na babayaran. Dahil hindi siya between dates. I hope nakuha niyo yung concept na yan. The bonds are acquired to yield a 15% effective interest effective rate. So, ayan, may another clue tayo. Mas mataas si effective rate. So, kung mas mataas si effective rate, tama ba na discount? Effective rate is greater than nominal rate. Actual rate is greater than the coupon rate. Yes, discount. Kasi aka gain, dapat mas malaki si effective. On May 1, 2020, enormous companies sold. Ayoko tong mga nagbebenta-benta. Nagbebenta ng bonds, hindi mapanindigan. Sige. So, let's prepare journal entries. Okay. Allow me to share. Okay, wag tayo dito. Dito naman. I did to gihapon para hindi na mag-usab. Okay. We are now in effective interest method topic. So, prepare journal entries for 2019. Let's begin with February 1, 2019. And we acquired an investment in bonds. Wala tayong interest income na debit kasi we purchased it on the interest date, February 1 din. And that was 5486. Tama? 5486. Next. Our next entry will most probably be on December 31 na kasi annually naman ang pag-receive ng interest. So that's December 31, 2019. And the first thing to do is we recognize the accrued interest receivable. Accrued interest receivable would be 6 million times the nominal rate, and the nominal rate was 12%, right? 12% times ilang months lang natin siyang hinawakan from Feb 1 to December 31. I think that's 11 months lang. So that would be 660,000 interest income. Interest income. Next, we have the amortization. Okay? Amortization, discount daw. So, dapat mabawi nato si investment in bonds, right? And dapat mas dako ang atoang actual or effective na interest received or interest income. So, that would be another credit to interest income. Kaso nga lang, ma'am, how much? So, kung balikan nato tong discussion nato kaganina, unsaon gayto pag-compute sa interest income, that was ER or your carrying amount. Your carrying amount times your effective rate. Tama? And then, the amortization, since amortization man ni siya, it will be minus your face amount times your nominal rate. Okay? Ganun, right? So, sige. Ako na lang ning hawaon. Gawa tayo ng amortization table. Gawa tayo ng amortization table. Let's begin with the date. Sa sunod, interest received. So, imong interest received was face amount times your nominal rate, which is the 12%, right? And your interest income or your effective rate, carrying amount, times your effective rate. And then your amortization, which is the difference between the two, and your carrying amount eventually. Sige. So, date will be from Feb 1. February 1, 2019. And then yearly man siya. So, we have February 1, 2020 and February 1, 2021 lang takutob kay gibaligya niya. Okay. So, wala pa man tay interest sa February 1, right? Mapagani pag-abot na nadayo interest. So, dili lang sa ta. Carrying amount was 5486. Now, after 1 year, sa kapatan naka-earn og interest. So, that would be 6 million times 12%. That's the face amount times the nominal rate. Therefore, every year, we're going to receive 720,000 as interest. And the effective rate, however, is your carrying amount updated carrying amount times how much is your effective rate? Your effective rate is 15%. So for 1 year, that would be 822,900. The difference between these two is your amortization. And saan siya nga amortization? Discount or premium? We mentioned a while ago that this is a discount. So kung discount, plus or minus? Plus, right? So 5486 plus the discount amortization, we have updated carrying amount as of February 1, 2020 is 5,588,900. Padayonon nato, the same lang gihapon kay wala man ni changes sa atong face amount, so that would be 6 million times 12%. Actually almost the same lang na siya unless it is a serial bond. And your carrying amount this time is mag-change. Kaya nag-change naman yung carrying amount. So, 5589 times your 15%. And the difference between the two is... The difference is 118,335. And again, we add the discount amortization and the carrying amount. So, hangtod sa mahulog na nasiyag 6 million dira. You prepare a table of amortization and ang goal nato sa tuang amortization table nga mahimo na ning face amount ang pinakatumoy sa carrying amount. Di ba maman to atong goal? Dapat si carrying amount equal sa face amount. But for this problem, di lang sa natuto paabtog 6 million kasi anyway, gibaligya man sad niya on May 1. So, ayun, magiging useless lang. Alright. So, dirita. For 12/31/2019, how much is the amortization? Will it be 102,900? The answer is no. Ngano man, para mani sa February 1, 2019 hangtod February 1, 2020. Unya kay pa man takaabot og February 1, 2020. Therefore, ato pa nang i-multiply sa kung pila lang ka months siya outstanding from February 1 to December 31, and again that is 11 months. Therefore, our amortization will only be 94,325. Okay? I hope we're good. We're good? Sige. Next, I think that would be all for 2019. Let's have January 1, 2020. And the first thing to do again, reverse. Unless magbayad na ana nga panahon. Pero wala pa man, so reverse lang sa. We have a reversal of 660,000. And what else? Let's proceed to February 1. What happened in February 1? This is the time nga naka-receive na gyud ta og interest. The interest received will be motong cash, remember? And it was 720,000 based sa ato ang compute kaganina sa ato ang amortization table. 720,000 good for 1 year. Tama? And since nag 1 year naman na to since nag 1 year na ang ato ang bonds and ang ato ang amortization kaganina is good for 11 years lang man then i-update na nato din hiya. So we have interest in bonds and your interest income. So your interest income here is katong remaining 1 month. That would be 109,200 times 1 month divided by 12. 1 month na lang from January 1 to February 1. Therefore, our amortization would be 8,575. Okay? Now, wala na takaabot og December 31, 2020 kasi binenta ang bonds. Lahat ng bonds. So, on May 1, 2020, before ibaligya, i-update sa ang amortization. The same sa ato ang problem kaganina. Balikan ako. It was also May 1. Katong kay Yost, or was it, I forgot, kay name ato nga company. Manda. Okay, Manda Company. Before nato siya gibaligya, ato sang gi-update ang iyahang amortization using the straight line. This time, the same concept. Before ibaligya, i-update lang sa interest income. Now, how are we going to update this one? We are done with the year 1. Nahurot na ning 102,900 kani December 31 og kadtong February 1. So that is a total of 102,900 na nato sa year 2. So that means ang atoang amortization karon will be based on 118,335, but that is until February 1, 2021. E gigunitan nato ang bonds gikan lang man February 1, 2020 hangtod May 1, 2020. So pila na siya ka months? That's Feb, March, April. That's 3 months only. Therefore, our amortization will only be 29,584. Na-update na, then we're ready to let it go. So, cash and then baligya ang outstanding carrying amount rather of your investment in bonds. And of course, since gigunitan man to natog tulo ka bulan na atay interest income. And then we're going to see if it's a loss or a gain on sale. How much is your carrying amount? So basically, dili na to makita sa tong amortization table kay nagbaligya man ta sa tunga-tunga. So our carrying amount, kung mag-base ta sa atuang journal entry, pwede na to ma-compute. We have beginning IIB plus kaning amortization sa 2019 plus atong amortization sa February 1 during katong tingbayad sa interest plus katong updated natong amortization. Therefore, our outstanding our carrying amount would be 5,618,484, or pwede din katong imuhang carrying amount based sa imong amortization table as of February 1 plus kadtong imuhang gi-update nga 29,584. The same lang din yun. Okay? So instead nga imo pang isa-isahon imong journal entry, adto na lang kadretso sa imong table of amortization, pangita atong latest. And the latest was this row. Kaning 5,588,900. Mao na siya ang latest as of May 1, 2020. And then i-add ang kadtong imuhang gi-update nga amortization. So that is your carrying amount. Therefore, your selling price versus the carrying amount, how much is your selling price? Gibaligya nimo at 105. So that is 6 million times 1.05. And ang imuhang carrying amount is this. Therefore, you have a gain, right? A gain of 681,516. Gain on sale of financial asset or bond investment. Okay. That would be, again, 681,516. Now, how much is your interest income? That would be 6 million times 12% times pila ka months from February 1. That's 3 months. Therefore, you have you have an income of 180,000. So, ang imuhang cash nga nadawatan is the 105 plus the interest income of 180. So, kung imo ni i-add tanang naka-credit, 6,480 gihapon na siya. So, balance lang ang ato ang entry. So, that would be it for enormous company. So, ayun. Kayo na ang humusga kung asay inyuhang mas gusto. The straight line or the effective interest method. Okay. So, ayun. Nakita ninyo or wala? Hindi ata siya nakashare. Nakashare ba? Or karon lang?
Nakashare, ma'am.
Ay, nakashare. Okay. Kala ko wala na akong kausap eh. Sige, so ayan. That would be for enormous company. So far, kumusta ang inyuhang pag-compute? Kumusta ang inyuhang kaugalingon na pag-answer? Okay, let's proceed to fancy company. Dito naman tayo kay fancy. Ganun din, bond amortization. Okay. Ay, no. Before ta mo adto kay fancy company, adto sa takang jest. That would be, okay, hanapin natin si jest. Saan si jest? I think this one. Ayan, jest company. Katong first nga illustrative problem, that was discount, right? Try nato ni si jest. Jest is a premium to siya. Yan, sinabi ko na. Premium siya, and what's something new about this is semi-annual ang iyahang interest payment. So, kung semi-annual na siya, ayun, mas hago. But sige lang, kaya natin to. Okay, Just Company purchased 5-year bonds with face amount of 8 million. Okay, stated interest of 10%. So, looking at the rates, 10% ang imuhang nominal, 8% imuhang effective. Is this a discount or a premium? Sinabi mo na kanina, ma'am, that's a premium. Yes, it's a premium kasi mas mababa si effective interest. So, kung premium na siya, mag-expect ta nga ang acquisition cost sa imuhang bonds would be more than 8 million. Tama? Tama ba itong analysis? Diba? Pag sobra sa face amount, it's a premium. But, looking at this problem, wala niya gihatag kung pila ang imuhang cost. Rather, naghatag siya mga present value factors. And I think I presented this one a while ago, so wala na tayong problema. Okay, we have here 3 present value factors, and we just have to decide which one will be used in computing the cost or simply the market price of the bonds. Let's begin with the PV of principal. Okay, so yan. Okay. Let's begin with the present value of principal. So, sa ato ang problem, we have 8 million na principal. Pero, if you try to look at it, semi-annual daw ang ato ang pagbayad sa interest. The end there, remember the formula that I gave you, di ba na negative n? Ang n dito is the number of periods or the number of times nga makadawat ka og payment, whether interest or principal. So, if ato siya i-analyze, 5 years daw ang kini nga bonds, pero ikaduha sa isa ka tuig magbayad og interest. Therefore, pila ka periods. That's going to be 5 years times 2 kasi twice in a year. So, that's 10 periods in total. Karon murag di pa kay nato ma-appreciate kasi 10 periods na ang binigay ni problem. Pero nayusahay nga muhatag siya dirag 5 periods. So malibog ka unsay gamiton, 5 or 10. So kaya ko ine-explain para the next time around if maka-encounter tag problem na daghan o gihatag, at least we know which to use. So for this problem, that's 10 periods because it is 5 years tapos twice a year kasi semi-annual. So, our next problem here is which rate to use. So, if you are using the present value factor, you always use the effective rate. Okay? So, kung tanawon nimo, ihang effective rate is 8%. But take note, kanang rate nga ginahatag, that is always for 1 year. Good for 1 year. So, kanang 10% dira, that's good for 1 year. Kanang 8% dira, that's good for 1 year. But since in a year, ikaduha, semi-annual, ikaduha, makakollect og payment, that means you also have to divide your rate into 2. That means we have 10 periods, but we are going to use 4%. Because again, if you are using your present value factor, you use the effective rate, not the nominal rate. Therefore, ang first din nga present value of ordinary annuity of 1 for 10 periods at 5%, eliminate, hindi yan ang gagamitin. Kasi nabot ha? So, ayun. I hope na nasabtan to. Kung tulog-tulog ka din pasensyahay ta. Ayaw kong paningli kung di mo na masabtan. Kasi in-explain ko na rin naman. So, balik ta. Our principal, is it lump sum? Is it a term payment or an installment payment? Wala man siya giingon nga every year magbayad maka-receive ta sa principal payment, right? Wala siya giingon. The problem is silent, therefore isahan ang pagkabayad ani at the end of the 5th year, dira pa siya mobayad og principal. And if isahan, we call it term or lump sum. Unsay gamiton gani? We use the present value of ordinary annuity. So pili lang ta. 7.72. Tama ba? Ay, mali. If it is a term, we use the PV of 1. I think mali yung naturo ko kanina. Wait. Ay, oo nga. Sige, ulitin ko. Ha. Parang may mali. May wrong. Balikan natin ang whiteboard. Ay. Hindi na ako nakamit. Balikan natin ang whiteboard na shinare ko kanina. But first, let me join the Google Meet. Bakit wala na ako? Putol-putol ka, ma'am. Putol-putol. Check mic test. Mic testing. Ay, I think dili ko putol-putol. Okay, allow me to share my screen. Let me update or let me change what I said earlier. Ayan. Mali-mali na naman ang mga tinuturo ko. Okay, bale. Okay, dito tayo. Okay. Okay na? Okay, ayan, naka-share. If we are using the lump sum or the term, we are going to use the PV of 1. Ayan, mali yung mga sinabi ko kanina. PV of 1. However, if we are using the installment, we are going to use the PV of ordinary annuity of 1. Okay? Again, pag term or isahan lang na pagkabayad, isa ka maturity lang, we have PV of 1. If it's installment, we use PV of ordinary annuity. Pero, ganun pa rin naman. Pag term or PV of 1, that is less than 1. Pero pag installment serial, PV of ordinary annuity, that is greater than 1. So, I think ito din yung sinabi ko kanina. Less than 1, greater than 1. However, yung formula naman na binigay ko, let me first check. That's 1 minus... Okay, ang formula nga akong gihatag is so far, tama naman. At least dun sa formula tama ako. Okay, so yon. Okay, ako na. Ito na. Papresent na ako. Okay. So, balikan natin. Principal payment is a term payment. So, isang maturity lang yon. So, kung isang maturity lang siya, we use PV of 1. And in this problem, we're going to use the isang PV of 1 lang naman to present value of 1. That's 0.6756. So, that's 8 million times 0.6756. Therefore, you have a present value of 5404, but market price is PV of principal plus PV of interest. So, i-add pa na to ang interest. We have 8 million times pilang imuhang interest. If you are still computing the interest, ang gamitin mo na is the nominal rate. Okay? And the nominal rate there is 10%, but that is good for 1 year. And again, semi-annual ta nga mag-collect og interest. So that would be 5% only. Times, which one to use. The 7.72 or the 8.11. I think we made an emphasis of this and we're going to use 8.11. Ayan. So, a total of 8648,800. This is the market price and this is going to be your cost as you make the entry IIB, credit, cash. That's going to be 8648,800. So, ato ang assumption kaganina nga this is a premium based on the interest, tama. Ang atong assumption ganina nga dapat ang cost is more than 8 million, tama din, 8648,800. So, nga na lang na siya pag-analyze. So, requirement letter A has been solved already. That is 8648,800. Now, we're going to prepare journal entries for the current year and we're going to use the effective interest method. So, let us prepare your table of amortization for anything else para mas dali ang ato ang pag-prepare sa journal entries. Mag-base na lang tas ato ang table. Okay? So, ayan. Change this one. So, for the first date, kanusa na to siya gipalit? Ay, wala naman pang sila. Walang nakalagay. So, kung walang nakalagay, let's just put 1-1. Okay. January 1. And the carrying amount as of that moment is this one, 8648. And then, since we are using the semi-annual, then dapat semi-annual po atong date. So, that's 1-1, tapos July 1. Our interest received, how much is our face amount? That's 8 million. Semi-annual, so dapat 5% lang. Our interest income, that's carrying amount times effective rate nato is 8%. But since semi-annual, 4% lang sa. The difference is 54,048. And this 54,48, is it a discount or a premium? That's a premium. And since it's a premium, dapat i-minus. Therefore, your carrying amount as of July 1 should be 8,594,752. Padayon ta, 1-1 for year 2. Although ang gipangayo is current year, at least we will have another illustration sa tuang table of amortization. That's 400,000. And our interest income is your updated carrying amount times 0.044%. And again, the difference will be your premium amortization which will be deducted sa imong carrying amount. So, hangtod dira lang sa ang ato ang table. Okay, this is for the beginning of the year, 1-1. On July 1, naka-receive tag interest, right? Tingbayad or tingpaningil na natong interest. That's interest income in the amount of 400,000 based sa atong na-compute ganina. And since tingbayad man dapat ato pong i-update ang ato ang interest or investment in bonds. This is a premium. So if it's a premium, our entry would be debit interest income and bawasan si IIB para ma-achieve ang goal nga mahimo na lang siyang 8 million. But the question is how much? Will it be 5408? Yes, 5408. Ayan na 7-1. Andiyan na nga sa table of amortization. So, kabalo na tag yun sa pag-compute si 5408. So, that would be for July 1. And let's have December 31. And as usual, accrued. So, good tag accrued para di malimtan. Accrued interest receivable, that would be credit to interest income. And the question is how much? 6 months na natong gigunitan. I guess that would be 400,000 gihapon. Yes, that's 400,000. So our accrued interest receivable is 400,000. The next thing to do, since it's year end, we are going to amortize interest income, debit, and then credit your investment in bonds. This time, how much? It would be this one, 56 to 10. Ma'am, nga nung 56 to 10, nga para pa man na siya sa January 1. Hello, that's just one day. December 31 and then 1-1, pagkaugma dayon. So, pwede mo rin namang ilagay dyan na 12/31. The same lang din yun. Okay, so this is the key. When do we update our amortization? Okay. Or when do we update the IIB through amortization? Or simply put, kanus ata magbuhat og journal entry para ma-recognize ang amortization. So first, you have to record the amortization when interest payment or when interest income is received. Okay? So, every time nga makakollect tag interest income, mag-record ta og amortization sa ato ang premium or discount. For example, diri sa July 1, naka-receive tag income, so mag-update pud ta sa ato ang investment. And also, every year end or reporting date. So, every time nga mag-end na ato ang calendar or fiscal year, kailangan nato mag-update. Parihaaning 12/31. Dili man ta maka-receive diriya og interest payment, right? But since it is year-end or reporting date, we update our investment in bonds. Okay? So, even though dili ting bayad, but since reporting date, mag-update. And lastly, before or when there is a sale. Ka-remember mo atong kay May 1 kaganina, anak ta nga before ta magbaligya sa ato ang investment, i-update sa ang ato ang amortization. So, even though wala ka nakadawat og interest income anak nga panahon, even though dili na reporting date, but because na maligya ka og bonds, you update first your investment through amortization. Okay? So, mag-prepare ka ng ganyang entry or the reverse of that. So, that would, I think, the entries that is required for the current year. Okay? So, if ato nang padayonon, that's 1-1, second year, ang kaning accrued, dili na nato ni i-reverse. Ngano man, 1-1 is the receipt of interest. So, unsa ito basta January 1, the same lang siyang effect. Ay, hindi pala siya interest income. Accrued. So, you just have to debit your cash and then credit your interest accrued. Accrued interest rather, in the amount of 400,000. So, ganun lang. Huwag mo nang i-reverse. One day lang naman ang pagitan. And, of course, wala kang i-amortize. Wala namang ganap dyan. Okay? Ma'am, naka-receive man kag cash, ma'am. So, dapat mag-update kasi mong amortization. One day nga lang ang pagitan. So, anong gagawin mo? I-times mo yan ng 1/365. So, wag na. Okay? Unless kung after 1 month, okay, dira pa, then that's the time. Pwede na kang mag-update sa mong amortization. Okay? Now, for letter C, requirement letter C, we are to compute the carrying amount of the bond investment at year-end. Hindi na natin kailangang pahirapan ang sarili natin. Bakit? Kasi, andyan na sa table of amortization. Pila daw ang carrying amount at year-end? Di ba kaning 1-1, year 2, mauman po ning 12/31 sa year 1? Imong beginning, mao na siyang ending last year. So, kanang 8538, mao na siyang carrying amount for year-end. Okay? So, kung gusto jud ka, hala, sige, compute. Beginning, 8648, plus, ay minus di ay, kaya naka-debit, credit, minus, and then, ano po diri, minus, ayan, ganun pa rin, 8538, 542, nag-prepare naman lang kag table of amortization, ayan, gamitin mo na. So, answer there is 8538, 542. Let's have, what's next? Sige, let's have 20-6. Let's have your assignment. Sige, atuan na to nato inyong assignment. It is Gallant Company. Gallant. Ayan. On January 1, 2020, we have Gallant Company purchased bonds with face amount of 8 million for 7 million. Okay, looking at the figures, is this a discount or a premium? It's a discount kasi less than the face amount. The standard rate is 10%. That's the coupon or the stated rate. Although it has a yield rate of 12%. Diba yield mo ng effective rate? So, mas dako ang effective kasi nga, it's a discount. Bonds mature at the rate of 2 million annually every December 31. And the interest is payable annually also every December 31. So, karon, this is a serial bond. Ganong serial? Every year mag-mature ang bonds. So, every year, makadawat tag payment sa principal nga 2 million pesos. The entity uses the effective interest method, and we are to prepare journal entries and to compute for the carrying amount as of year end. So, again, para mas madali ang life, mag-prepare tayo ng table of amortization. Okay. So, this time, this is a discount, right? Our carrying amount is binigay niya na, that's 7,679,000 as of January 1, 2020. So, let's have 12/31/2020 here. And ato na lang pong padayunon. So, for this particular problem, atong paningkamutan nga mahuman nato ning iyahang table of amortization. At least man lang, di ba, natay na human nga amortization. Okay. But since this is a serial bond, ang atuang table of amortization madungagan og usa ka item. So, unsa man na siya nga item? Okay, we have here the principal payment. Right? The principal payment after the amortization column. Okay, now let's have our interest received. Interest received is based on the face amount nga 8 million times annually man, dili man semi-annual. So, diretso na ta sa 10%. Do not divide it by 2 anymore. So, that would be 800,000 and then our interest income is carrying amount times 12%. The difference between the two will be the amortization of discount, which is 1,214.80. And our principal payment for the first year is 2 million. So, every year, natay 2 million nga madawatan as principal. So, I think kung 2 million every year and then 8 million ang iyahang utang sa tua, then that would be good for 4 years bago niya mahurot og bayad. So, since this is serial, ang atuang goal at the end of 4 years, dapat mag-zero ang carrying amount. Ma'am, di ba ma'am atong goal kay dapat mag-8 million para equal sa face amount? Oo nga. Kaso, magbabayad nga siya every year. Staggered nga payment. Alam nga na magnagyapon siya utang kung nagabayad na siya 2 million every year. So, dapat zero na. Okay? Pero ang atuang goal, kaning carrying amount plus kaning tanan nato nga amortization dapat mag-equal og 8 million. Okay? So, muna itong go later. Let's try to compute first the carrying amount as of December 31, 2020. How do we compute? The previous carrying amount plus minus discount premium. This is discount, so we have plus. And you minus or you deduct the principal payment. So, you have your new carrying amount, which is 5.8480. Now, padayon sa nato ang table, ang ato ang interest received this time is how much? Face amount times nominal rate gihapon. But your face amount is no longer 8 million. Nga naman, nagbayad na siya 2 million. Therefore, the face amount this time is only 6 million na lang times the 10% nominal rate. Therefore, you have 600,000 there. Your interest income would be 696, and the difference will be our amortization. Again, previous carrying amount plus discount minus the principal payment, that would be your updated carrying amount. Now, for the next year, the third year, ang atuang face amount is no longer 8 million, no longer 6 million pod. Kay nagbayad naman po tag 2 million last year. So, ang balance na lang is 4 million. Times the 10% gihapon, that's 400,000. And your interest income, kasaba ba sa mga bata sa gawas? Therefore, the difference is 67, which will be added to our previous carrying amount minus principal payment. You have there 1964122. And this time, ang atuang face amount would be 2 million na lang. Kay nagbayad naman po siya last year. Times 10%, therefore, the interest received is 200,000. And ito, kasi kung atong padayunon ang usual ang usual nga computation, ato sang itry para makita nato ang difference. Times 12. The difference is that. Okay. Dapat atong goal is mag-zero ni siya, right? So, nahuman na nato. The difference between these two, ayan yung amortization. Itry daw nato kung zero ba yun. Previous carrying amount minus your discount, plus the discount amortization minus this, the principal payment, dapat zero. But as you can see, it's not zero. It's negative 183 and we cannot have a negative carrying amount. Zero yun na siya. Therefore, i-work back na to. Simply put, dapat atong discount amortization will be the difference between the remaining face amount. Pilan lang nabilin nga na face amount, diba 2 million? Therefore, that's the principal payment. The remaining face amount minus our current carrying amount. The difference is 35,878. Kaganina, that was 35,695. Pero, katong pag-work back nato, nahimo siyang 35,878. And if that is 35,878, your interest income should be this one plus the amortization, 235,878. Kaganina, that was 235,695, pero pag work back nato, that's 235,878. Let's do the math kung mag-zero ba yun siya. Carrying amount plus premium minus principal payment, 0. Therefore, for the last year, ang atong buhaton is squeeze nato si amortization. Squeeze. Ngano man, kay para mag-zero ni siya diriya. Anyway, ang answer kaganina is 35,695, tama ba? Ang difference lang man pud niya kay murag pila ra man pud immaterial kaayo. 183. Mao na siya tong na-compute ganina. It's very immaterial. Mura ra nagsinsilyo kung pwede pa lang na mahulog di na po niton. Nga na siya ka immaterial. So nganong naa may difference, ma'am? Nabay mali sa atong gi-compute? Wala. The difference is because of the rounding off, okay? Sa sugod pa lang, okay, kadtong market price niya kani rounded off na siya. Tungod na siya sa mga present value factors ug sa interest nga hindi naman talaga yan siya 12% lang. Napod na siya 12.22 ganyan-ganyan. Pero since it's immaterial, kaya naging 12% na lang. Sa present value factor pod, instead nga, taas pa unta ang decimal places, pero gi-round off na lang siya 2 decimal places, kaya siya nagkakaroon ng difference. So, kaya siya ganun. Now, ang akong ingon ganina, dapat kaning ato ang total amortization plus the carrying amount sa sugod should be equal to face amount nga 8 million. So, try na to. This one plus all the amortization, the yearly amortization, that should be equal to 8 million. And it's really equal to 8 million. So, tama lang ang ato ang gibuhat. So, sakto ang ato ang table of amortization. So, actually, wala pa ta nakatubag sa iyang require. The required was the journal entries for 2020. But since we have the table of amortization, I think it would be easy for us to answer this. January 1, we have IIB and credit cash for 7679. And our next entry will be on December 31, 2020. And that would be our, wala na tay accrued. Nganong wala may accrued? Tingbayad man niya December 31. So, nakadawat yun tag cash. Hindi na siya accrued. So, cash, interest, income. Wala na yung masaba pas mga bata sa gawas. And we have the 800,000 based sa ato ang table of amortization. Ayan year 1, 12/31/2020. So, mas dali na lang, di ba? Di na kailangan magbalik-balik og compute kung nana kay table. And we also have our amortization. So, atong amortization would be IIB because this is discount, credit, interest, income of 121,480 based again sa ato ang table of amortization. Now, unsa pa'y pwedeng mahitabo on December 31? Mag-party, ma'am, because that is year-end. Yes. But aside from that, napay uban. Ay, bakit ko tinype ulit? Di ba, ana siya? The bonds mature at the bonds mature at the rate of 2 million annually every December 31 pasabot. Nagbayad pud siya og 2 million for the principal. So, that would be 2 million payment. Okay? So, this is something new, ha? Sa kaninga problem. Walay ingani sa previous problems nato. Kay nga naman, term bonds to siya. But this time, serial bonds. So, every year na ay payment of principal. And if it is payment of principal, you don't credit interest income. Instead, you credit the investment itself. Hindi sa lahat ng panahon, December 31 ang payment. Naiusahay in the middle of the year, at the beginning of the year. But just take note of that para maka-prepare ka ing-ani nga entry. So, ayan. This is for your assignment problem number 5. And anyway, napaday letter B, compute the carrying amount of the bonds on December 31, 2020. Looking at the table, ito yun. Di mo na kailangan i-compute. Yan. Highlight mo na lang yan. Pero kung gusto nyo kag manumano, pwede rapod. Beginning 7679. Your amortization, ayan, 121. And naka-receive na ka og payment sa 2 million niya nga principal. I think that will yield the same answer, 5,800,480. Ayan. So that would be for Gallant Company. Now let's proceed to Labyrinth Company. And this is one of the problems that I shared to you yesterday. Tama? May taon sa nato. Enormous, rain, just, eto. Is it labyrinth or labyrinth? Okay, for your drill, for those na wala pa nakakompleto sa ilahang perfect points, please provide question number 1. How much is the market price of the bonds? So, kung nag-answer ka ani nga problem, sa balay, the better. Pwede na lang ka mag-input sa imuhang answer karon. Again, compute for the market price of the bonds. Ay, wala din. Wala ding nag-compute. Na. Saka. Gusto pa yung B. Nanawag sila, nanawag sila sa Rowan. Katawanan pa dyan kayo kay pag tubag bitaw ni si Rowan, yan ako na, unyo na lang lunch, nag-close ko. Tapos ano siya, uy, I'm sorry we ha, sorry we. Tapos ano ko, sige lang niya, okay lang niya. Si Ruben na diyan. Tapos siya, sige we, manawag na lang ko niya after lunch ko. Ay, sir! Si Kuya Jimboy, manggot. Katapos siya, akong gi-share nga screen kay kani. Nag-note ko ba? Like this and like that and everything. Okay niya, mawi pag humana ko, ana. So, ayun, nakuha niyo ba yon? Tapos ko na, ano yan? May tumatawag. So, ay, may tumatawag. Ay, sino ba to? Abi na kong home credit. Ang akong gipislit kay answer, bubo kayo. Ano, ay, mamaya na to. Answer. So, akong gibaling, hello we. Ay, na-answer di ay. Hello we. Sige, ana. Sabi ko, ay, dili ni home credit kay kailan man sa ako ah. Hello? Kinsa ni? Saka-on pa ako. Ay, sorry. Ako, excuse me guys, may I take this call? Ito. Ba't si, this ko, Jiboy, nagklase mangguro. Ano din sila. Ako, hello, ya? Kinsa ni? Ano siya, ay, bata ah. Ay, Kuya Jiboy, yun sa man. Ano siya nga, magkakaroon. Ang ko na, nagklase ko. Tapos ano siya nga, ay, nagklase day ka? Unya na mong klase. Nga naman, sa may tuwin mo pagdali, kaya nagklase ko. Ay, siya namig digos. Mo ba? O sige. Ano siya nga, oy, mastorya daw si Sir Wenny mo. Ako, ano siya, sa Sabado. Ako, yun sa Sabado. Ano siya, ambot, basta siya na mag-ingon sa imo sa Sabado. Ako, yan, dili ko siya, kamera, manla kami sa Sabado. Siya, ay, kamo na magstorya mo ni Sir Wenny. Ako, unya na. Ano na ko, sis, yan na din gihatag. Kuya, unya na lang kay nagklase pa kuya, mga ano siguro yung mga after lunch, unya na lang to. Sige na siya, sorry. Siya, ay, sorry we, I'm sorry. Ako, sige lang okay lang ya. Unya na lang ha. Ano, sige, wait, manawag na lang ko niya. Hi, sir! Sir! Sorry kay sir, nagklase ko, sir. So, sige, yan na lang after lunch. Nagot kasi ka, Jay, may giatag na din yung dritso. Na ako'y ginapa-answeran nga drill. Sige. Hello everyone. Asa naman? Hello, guys. Walay nag-answer? How do you compute for market price? I think ato ning gi-discuss ka ganina sa isa ka problem. It was the problem of kinsa ba to? Jest? Was it Jest? Yeah. Jest Company. So nag-compute og market price kay Jest Company, and the same concept let us apply here kay labyrinth whatsoever you call this. Okay. So, which of these present value factors ang magamit? Sige, walay mag-answer. Sige, ako'y mo tawag isa-isa. Pangitaw na to ning nag-answer dire. So, I think you don't have, kung wala ka naka-compute because wala lang ni mo gi-compute, wala ka nagtanaw sa problems nga akong gisend sa GC, okay lang. At least karon akong na-present ang concept, then you have the reasons para maka-compute. Let us ask bikin sa maning nadari. Let's ask Miss. Ay, almost kompleto naman yung mga Miss diri Okay, let's ask. Ayan, may nag-answer na tuloy. Na-stress kasi walang ibang nag-answer. Okay. We have 3,106,800 from Miss Sanchez. Okay, thank you for that, Miss Sanchez. Actually, that's correct. Thank you for your cooperation. At least ma-feel na ko nga napaday ko kay istorya diri. Okay, we have Labyrinth Company, market price, and ganito lang yon. Market price is PV of your principal, and how much is your principal? I think that's 3 million, tama? And is this serial? Yes. Purchased serial bonds with 3 million face amount, and you have their 12% nominal rate, and you have 10% effective rate. Looking at the rates, will this yield to a discount or a premium? Mas gamay si effective rate, therefore this is a premium. Tama? So kung premium ni, mag-expect nga mas taas sa 3 million ang ato ang cost or ato ang market price. So, the bonds are to be held at amortized cost. The bonds mature at an annual installment. Yan. That makes it serial kasi every year magbabayad siya ng 1 million as principal payment. Now, let's compute. PV of principal plus PV of interest. Your principal is again 3 million. Tama? Kaso, serial kasi siya. So, yung magagamit natin na formula is expanded formula dun sa term bonds. So, let's have year 1 muna. Year 1, you have principal payment of 1 million. Tama? So, every year, nakakay madawatan na 1 million as payment of principal and an interest of 3 million times, pila daw to? 12%. Yan. So, you have a total receipt of 1.36 million for year 1. Lakay, wala na yung masaba pa sa mga bata sa gawas. Wait lang, ako sang i-automatic close ang akong window. Ako sa i-remote. Kaya murag, ayan. Ang problem natin, hindi basta-basta mauubos, pero ang pasensya ko parang konting-konti na lang. Alright, that is for year 1. Let's have year 2. On year 2, still natay 1 million na principal payment, but our interest will change. Nga naman, our interest will be based on the outstanding balance. Ang balance na to is just 2 million na lang na face amount. Nga naman, nagbayad na gaitag 1 million last year, so 2 million na lang karon. Times your 10% rate. How much is the rate? Is it? I'm sorry, this is 12 pala. 12 nominal rate. Okay. And that makes it 1.24 million for year 2. Now, for year 3, we have another 1 million. I think this is the last 1 million nga atong ma-receive sa iya kasi 3 million lang naman ang utang niya. And ang balance na lang is yun. 1 million na lang din. Times the 12%. Therefore, for year 3, we have 1,120 payment. Total payment. So, every year, makadawat ta ani nga mga amounts. So, kung every year natay madawatan, is it term or serial payment? It's serial. So, kung serial or installment, we use which present value factor? Present value factor of 1. I'm sorry. No. Present value factor of 1 if it is one-term payment. Ayan, medyo nalibog na mo. Medyo nalibog na pod ko. Okay, ganito kasi yon. Ito, babayaran natin 1 year from January 1. Isang bagsakan. Okay? And,
Ma'am, di naka-share, ma'am.
ay, hindi pa naka-share. Sorry. Ayan. Thank you. So, this 1.36 million, babayaran natin on year 1, isang bagsakan. On December 31. Tama ba? December 31 yun, di ba? And ito namang 1.24, babayaran din natin ng isang bagsakan din on December 31, year 2. So, let's say, 2019 tayo ngayon. That is 2020. And itong 1.12 million, babayaran din siya. Di pala tayo yung magbabayad, no? Babayaran ng issuer on year 3 ng isang bagsakan din. So, ibig sabihin, term by term. Hindi siya yung every year mag-e-installment siya. So, that means, ang gagamitin natin is present value of 1. Okay? I hope nakuha niyo yung concept na yon. Hindi siya katulad ng present value factor of ordinary annuity. Kasi, constant yun. Every year, makaka-receive tayo ng installment. For example, 100,000. Every year, 100,000. Every year, 100,000. Although, pwede naman natin siyang gamitin dito. But since this is serial, we are going to use the PV of 1. So, sige. Allow me to share my, this screen. Okay. Dito tayo. Balik tayo dito. It's like this. Ay, ba't red? Atong napalit ang bonds, 1-1. Magbayad daw ta at the end of year 1 na how much? 1.36 million. At the end of year 2, makabayad na pud tag maka-receive og 1.24. And at the end of year 3, maka-receive tag 1.12 million. 1.12 million. Okay. Now, our present value here, we have 3 periods. PV of 1 at 10 for 1 period, for 2 periods, for 3 periods. I know, alam nyo na kung anong gagamitin kasi yun ang nakalagay sa book, di ba? Na illustration dito sa book. Yun sa pagkuha ng interest sa year 2, year 3, ma'am. Ay, okay na day, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So, alam nyo na kung anong gagamitin na present value factors kasi yun yung nakalagay sa illustration ng book. But let me explain. Why do we use present value factor of 1 for 1 period para sa 1.36? It's like this. Atong ihapon, pila ka dugay or unsa ka dugay gikan sa ato ang measurement padulong sa receipt. What do I mean by that? Kano sa ta nag-measure og market price? 1-1, tama? January 1. Kano sa daw nato madawatan ang 1.36? That's 1 year after. It's 1 year. Therefore, ang present value factor nga atong gamiton is for 1 period. Work back dyan, 1 period. That's why we multiply the 0.91 dito sa 1.36. So, we use 0.91. Now, for 1.24, kano sa nga to ang recognition date or measurement date sa market price? Balik ta, 1-1. January 1. Ang 1.24, kano sa na to ma-receive? That is, ayan, 2 years. Gikan sa ato ang recognition date nga 1-1. That's why we use the 2 periods which is 0.83. Now, for 1.12 million, kanusa na to na siya madawatan? Gikan January 1. That is for 3 years pa. 3 years after. That's why we multiply the PV factor for 3 periods which is 0.75. So, mura siya gina-work back ba? Unsa kadugay bago nato madawatan actually ang kadto nga amount. Okay, so tan-awon nato ang span of time and then i-compare nato diri sa ato ang recognition date or initial measurement date which is January 1. So, ganun yun siya. That's the logic there. So, kabalo ko, nga kabalo mo, unsaon, or asa nga figures, but that's the reason why. So, balikan natin ang, balikan natin ang ating formula. We have here the market price. Okay na ba? Ayan. So, for year 1, we use 0.91. For year 2, we use 0.83. At saka, hindi na siya nag-receive ng decimals. That's 0.75. Okay? So, multiply. Ayan. And total. So, we get the total of these 3. And that will be our market price. So, that yields to 3,106,800. And ato ang assumption kaganina is premium, di ba ni siya? Because mas gamay sa effective rate. So, if it's premium, dapat more than 3 million. And na-achieve naman natin yun. 3,106,800. So, thank you, Miss Sanchez. You got it right. We got it right for you. Ay, iba yung lyrics. Di pa yung ganun. Okay, we got it all for you pala yun. Okay, we have Miss Risa Sanchez who got it right. 3,106,000. So, padayuno na to ang ato ang ang requirement. You prepare journal entries for 2019 using the effective interest method and how much is the carrying amount. So I guess this time we could prepare the table of amortization. Okay, prepare tag table of amortization. And let me put it here. Ayan. So since this is serial, kaya may principal payment tayo na column. Okay, so date would be 1/1 1/1/2019. We have 12/31/2019, 12/31/20 for 3 years. Ma'am, wala may giingon nga 3 years. Wala gani giingon pero every year magbayad daw kag 1 million. If 3 million lang man imong utang, hindi pa sabot 3 years mahuman na. Tama. Okay, so that's 3,106,800 carrying amount and this is a premium. All right. Our interest would be for year 1, na-compute na to ganina, that was 360. For year 2, that was 240 and 120 for the last year. However, ang atoang interest income will be carrying amount times effective rate na 10%, and the premium amortization will be the difference between the two, and that is 49,320 for year 1. Principal payment is 1 million every year. Kadasig sa music. And the carrying amount will be the previous carrying amount minus premium. Minus tayo ngayon kasi premium. And minus na naman yung principal payment. So, that's 2 million. And then, compute na punta para sa interest income. Ay, ba't parang ang laki? 0.1, the difference. And update, that is minus the premium, minus your principal. And di ba nga to ang goal, basta serial, dapat 0 na siya at the end of the line. So if that is 0, and if that is the last year, last row, it's better for us to work back na lang. Okay? Kasi magkakaroon tayo ng difference if we are going to do the same formula. So work back, premium natin would be, premium amortization would be 23,000. Therefore, this will be 143,228. Okay? So, we're now ready to prepare journal entries. Let's begin with 1/1/2019. We received IIB and credit cash for the amount of the market price, which is 3,106,800. And then, our next entry will most probably be on 12/31 kasi annually naman to, hindi naman to semi-annual. Now, the first thing to do is to collect the interest income. Interest income for year 1 would be 360. Okay, that's the interest received, that's the cash for year 1. And let us amortize as well our premium. So, since this is a premium, dapat bawasan si interest, income, and bawasan din si IIB. And based sa tuang table, we already have the amounts. We have 49,320. Then that's it. But take note, serial bonds, so napatay additional entry nga debit cash, credit IIB para sa principal payment na 1 million. That's for year 1. Actually, for year 2, kung ato ning padayunon, kanilang gihapon ng mga journal entries ang mugawas. Asa lang man sila maglahi, kaning amount sa amortization. And also your interest received. So, kung padayunon nato na siya, year 2, that's 12/31/2020, kani, mahimo lang ning 240,000. And your interest income for the amortization of premium will be the 34,252. Kung ato na pud siyang padayunon, kani as is gihapon every year 1 million naman, di ba? Year 3 for the last period, we have here 120, that's based diri and your amortization will be 23,228. Okay? And kani as is gihapon. So daghan siya, yes, but if you have your table of amortization, igo na lang kamutan-aw dito, mahimo na lang nimo nga kodigo, and then you're good to go. Okay? Now, for the third question. The third question is, compute the carrying amount of the bonds on December 31, 2019. We don't need to compute it anymore this time because naatay table dara. That will be the carrying amount for 12/31/2019. Ayan. So, hindi naman pala ganun kahirap si effective interest method. Now, kung hindi naman pala siya ganun kahirap, let us answer. Ay, tapos na pala. Labyrinth. Okay na pala tayo. So, ang next na to nga concept is kaning fair value OCI and fair value option. And the fair value option is my favorite kasi yun yung pinakamadali. Okay? But before that, allow me to emphasize some concepts that may help us check or understand kung sakto ba ang atong ginabuhat. Unahon nato si discount. I think kaganina natay gi-prepare nga table of amortization nga discount. Ayan. So, i-highlight na ko niha as discount. Okay, ano pa bang meron dito? And a serial bond and annual. Okay? So, unsay something or what catches your attention here? First is kani. Unlike the typical discount, I think we have an illustration here kanina. Discount. Eto. This is also discount. Kaya nga lang, this is not serial. This is term bond, right? And this is annual gihapon. Kaya lang, hindi siya December 31. So, tanaw ni mo kaninga column, pirmi na siya 720. Therefore, kung term bond di ay ta, ang atuang interest received column is constant. Kindly take note of that. Di ko na isusulat. Kung term bond siya, ang kaning interest received nga column, constant yan. Always yan the same every year. Whereas, kung serial bond na siya, it changes. So, see? Dili siya constant 800. Naga-change siya. Next thing. Ang atuang interest income column. Kung imuhang pansinon, ato ang interest income column that is always decreasing. Pababa. From 900, ning naog 600, ning naog 400, ning naog 200. Then, kung nag-prepare ka table of amortization and nahimo ng 900, 600, unya ni saka og 700, unya ni naog na pud 500, mali yan. Kindly recompute. So, you will have an idea na dapat decreasing na siya always. Discount. We're talking here about discount, ha? Amortization. Amortization, if you could notice, decreasing pod. And this happens all the time. Decreasing pod na siya. And of course, ang imuhang principal payment, if you are serial, magdepende sa giingon sa problem. So, kung sinabi ng problem na 2 million every year, di constant 2 million. Pero pag sinabi ni problem na 3 million sa year 1, 2 million sa year 2, tapos 1 million na lang sa year 3, di sundin mo yon. Okay? So, ato ta dito sa PICAS. This is term bond. If you could notice, although wala na to siya nahuman, mapansin gihapon nato nga decreasing pod ang interest income. Discount amortization, ay, pasaka. Okay? Pasaka. Increasing. Dili siya pariha kaganina. Ay, pasaka po niyo. Sorry. Pasaka ang atuang interest income and pasaka po ang atuang discount amortization. So, that is for the term bond. Okay? Now, adto ta sa premium. I think we have here, ito. Premium. If it is a premium and it is a term bond, kung term bond, wala tayo problema, same lang gihapon sa concept nga akong gidiscuss ganina, constant ang kaning interest received. However, ang atuang interest income is decreasing and our premium amortization is increasing. Okay? Napatay isa ka premium diri ah. Ayan. And this is serial. Okay? So this is premium, but this is serial bond. Kung serial, ganun pa rin. Decreasing ang atuang interest received. Pababa na siya, of course. Kaya pababa man po di mo hang face amount. However, your interest income is decreasing. And your premium is decreasing as well. Your amortization is decreasing as well. Okay? So, natay mga hints. Dapat dili na siya tawag ani, fluctuate. Dili na siya saka naog. Dapat constant yan siya. So, decreasing, decreasing. This is for premium serial. Premium term, we have decreasing and bakit increasing to? Okay, increasing sa amortization. Wait, recompute ko nga. This is 0.4, 0.4, 0.5. This is I think we have a mistake here. 8, 6, 8, 9. Ay, tama di ay. Decreasing din siya dyan. And our amortization is increasing. So, ayun. Okay. And on our discount, however, ayan, pasaka, ay, pasaka for term bonds, and for serial, panaog. Okay? Pababa. Pasaka. Dire, panaog, pasaka. And ito naman, pababa, tapos pababa. Okay? So, I think that's it. Then, let's have our fair value through OCI. So, it's your assignment, actually. We will talk about agusan. Tama ba? Agusan ba ito yung assignment? Problem 6. Alright. Agusan company. And we are to prepare an amortization table for the discount. And we are going to prepare journal entries. But before we discuss FVOCI, let us have this fair value option, Rain Company. Where is Rain? Ayan, Rain Company. So, for your drill, please compute for the the gain from change in fair value the gain from change of fair value in December 31, 2020. The gain from change in fair value on December 31, 2020. Ayan. Mag-participate naman kayo. Binigay ko na yung problem na yan. Gain from change in fair value on December 31, 2020 for Rain Company. Ayun tayo, kaigang po doon. Kasi nagpa-music. Ay, mall. Kasi ba music?
Kasi na pa music? Wala ta? Ay,
electric pan ta kay mo ko may kabut. May kabut nga lang kainin. May kabuutan sa akong mga estudyante halos di mag-participate. Kapoy ba kong storyahan na. Are you talking? Your mic is off. Shut up.
Kasi mo, ikaw or yan? Dili ni Bong.
Ikaw. Joy, di ni bangus. Nakay problema sa bangus.
Gusto ko mag-ipog niya. Pero di ba? Feel an expectation.
Ala, wala man ko sa Sabado. Basig na sila ipashootan.
Yo. Inay.
I love this. Dili ni katong buslot. Ibutang ang kutsara. Thank you.
Kasi ka.
Pray sa ta.
Pili.
Thank you, Lord, for this food. May bless this food, Lord. Bless me, pray. Amen.
Kamuti. Magawa ng kamuti.
Sa sabaw? Wow, sa una sa kanon lang ang kamote karon sa sabaw na pud. Level up. Level up, level up, level up. Kadugan matingalan lang kapag aga sa gripo na kamote. Level up. Level up, level up, level up. Mm. Mm.
Ay. Wala.
Okay, so the question is the change in fair value on December 31, 2020. I'm afraid the 620 there is the change or the gain from change on December 31, 2019. So I am asking for the 2020 gain, okay? You're almost there. Sino ba to? Mr. Lumando. Sarap. Mm-hmm. No, not. Okay. Take note ha. This company, sino ba to? Rain. Rain Company is using the fair value option. Actually, giilad lang tani. Kaning fair value option, mura lang ni siya trading securities. Kung ginaunsa nato pag recognize, pag record ang kaning changes sa trading securities, ing ana gihapon ang sa fair value option. Ang nakalahi lang, di ba sa trading securities, atong ginatanaw ang fair market value at the end of the year. Any gain or change atong gina-record, unrealized loss or unrealized gain, trading securities. Kani siya, ing ato gihapon, ginabantayan gihapon nato ang changes. Kaso nga lang, ang ato ang account is hindi na unrealized gain or unrealized loss. Instead, gain from change in fair value or loss from change in fair value. Pero ganun pa rin, murag gyapon siya trading securities. Plus, since this is a bond investment, naatay i-record nga income. Pero, income has nothing to do with our investment account. It's a simple debit cash, credit, interest, income. So, dili maapektuhan ng ato ang investment. So, our answer there is, I actually saw one. Actually, kung naaman galing tayo, pinakadali nga pamaagi diri, it's just comparing 2 periods. Ang question is how much is the gain from change in fair value? Andun na yung naka-context clue na na nasa question ang answer. Gain from change. Nag-change daw ang fair value. Just focus on the third paragraph. Kani-ganing the bonds are quoted at 120 on December 31 and 115 on 2020. Di ba kanang mga quotations mo man ang fair value? Pasabot, ang atuang focus is year 2020. Asa man nato siya i-compare. Just like the concept of trading securities, i-compare nimo siya sa last year nga fair value, kadtong latest nga fair value, kanus aman to nga latest, kadtong last reporting date. So, kung ang pangutana dinhi is fair value on December 31, 2020, gain from change. The change there is from 120 going to 115. Tama? Okay, the bonds are quoted on, that's 120 going to 115. Therefore, there's a change of 0.05. Tama? And the face amount is 5 million. 5 million times 0.05. It's a simple 250,000. And I guess the one who got it right first was Felmar. Yes, that's 6 million times 5.75. Okay? So, ganun lang siya. Context clue lang. Andun lang sa question ang hint kung paano mo kukunin yung answer. Paano mo makukuha yung answer. Okay? Gain from change. Andun na yon. Sige. So, murag na yung nagkakaon diri sa kong doon. Medyo saba ang plato. Pero okay lang. Sabtan lang nato. Okay. Actually, here is the problem. My question is incorrect. Mali yung question ko. Hindi nyo ba napansin? Asagi ko ang 6 million. 5 million times 120 or 5 million times 1.2 doon. Tapos yung isa naman, 5 million times 1.15. 5.75. Okay, so hindi nyo ba napansin na mali yung question? Ma'am, tama among answer pero mali ang question. Yes, tama na 250,000. Sige, do you have anything to say, Mr. Loro?
Loss, ma'am.
Loss.
From gain.
Perfect. Loss po siya, mga kaibigan, hindi po siya gain. Bakit siya loss, ma'am? Ako nang gi-emphasize ganina. Ang latest niya nga quotation is 120, right? Na-add to og 115. Nisa kanina og, meskin siguro ang grade 1 makasabot, 120 ni naog padulong 115. So, kung ninaog ang market price sa imuhang investment, that's basically a loss on your part. Tama? So, that is loss on change in fair value. Pero tama pa rin naman yun, 250,000. Okay? So, ayaw mo ka-overwhelm sa question. 2020, kailangan ko magsugod sa January 1, 2019. Pwede mo namang kunin na mas madali, di ba? Okay. So, but if you want, or hindi naman, whether you want it or not, or whether you like it or not, mag-prepare ta og journal entries because that has been required in the problem. So, prepare tayong journal entries para kay Rain. Is this Rain? Yeah, Rain Company. Okay. Allow me to share my tab. Let's begin on January 1, 2019. So, that's the time nga nipalit siya bonds. And take note, fair value option. So, kung fair value option, dito pwede mo gamit og investment in bonds. Let's just use financial asset at fair value through P&L. Okay? And then credit, cash. Basically, kung pila yung gibayad was 5,380. 5,380. Next, our next transaction or the next entry regarding this would be on year-end, 12/31/2019. So, what are we going to record here? Ayaw kalimti, first things first, dun tayo sa pera-pera lang. Record the interest income. Maka-recognize na tag-interest income or makadawat na tag-cash kay ingon siya, The bonds will pay interest annually on December 31 of each year. So, mao lang ni kalahian. Di ba, like I mentioned kaganina, mura lang siya trading securities. Kaya nga lang, this is a bond. So, since this is a bond, aside from the changes in fair value, naapod kay i-recognize nga interest. Ako nang gi-emphasize from the start of our discussion, bond investment is concerned on interest. And that would be based on our face amount, the 5 million times your 12% nominal rate. Therefore, you have an interest of 600,000 for 2019. And what else? On December 31, 2019, we will also record the change. So, balik ta sa murag trading securities nga concept. For 2020, nahimo daw, pila to? 120, tama, ang ihang quoted price. So, that's 5 million times 1.2. So, that's 6 million. So, currently, we have 5.38. So, 538, there is an increase. Gikag 5,380, ni saka og 6 million. The difference would be 620 increase. Therefore, we call this a gain from change in fair value of change fair value, ano na lang, 620,000. And ang iyang partner, of course, just like usual trading, debit the investment. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the next year, 2020. Okay. Nabatay kailangang i-reverse on January 1? Wala. Hindi mo naman to i-reverse kasi hindi naman yan accrual. So, diretso ta kang 12/31/2020, year end for the next year. Still, makadawat ta og interest. And that will again be 600,000. Constant yan. And then, our change in fair value. So, lately or recently, ang fair value nato was 6 million naman to, di ba? And then, karon daw nga year, nahimo na lang siyang at 1.15. So, that would make it 5.75. That's 250. But, ning naog siya, kaya magiging loss on change in fair value. Loss from change in fair value. And you credit the investment itself. Financial asset at fair value through P&L. So, that would be our entry. Okay. For Rain Company. So, ganun lang siya. Ganyan lang kadali ang fair value option actually. Ang medyo libog na po this time is kaning OCI. Kasi, nagsagol na. Financial asset at OCI or fair value through OCI plus naa siya'y nature sa pagka-bond investment. Okay, so nagsagol na ang tanang concept sa iyaha. And may effective interest na naman. Okay? But kaya natin to. Kaya natin to, guys. Tulungan lang tayo. Requirement number 1, we are going to prepare amortization table for the discount. Mag-amortization day gihapon mas fair value through OCI. Yes, because this is bond investment, but at the same time, ginagamit niya ang fair value through OCI nga nature. So, nag-merge na sa iyahang ang dalawang nature na to. Okay, so let's first prepare a table of amortization. So we have date, interest received, interest income, amortization. Hindi naman to serial, right? So diretso ta sa carrying amount. Date. Let's begin with 1/1/2020. And our carrying amount is, binigay niya ba? Okay, that's 4.6 plus the transaction cost of 142. Are we going to add the 142? Yes. Kung sa ganito, ang initial measurement is purchase price plus transaction cost except kung ang imuhang gigamit fair value through P&L. Kung fair value through P&L, unsay mahitabo sa transaction cost, diretso expense. Expense immediately. But this time, hindi naman to P&L. OCI naman to, so add. Therefore, our carrying amount would be 4,742,000. Now, let's have 12/31/2020. And mag-mature daw siya hangtod 2022. So, ato na lang ning sa garon. Okay. Interest received face amount the 5 million times nominal rate pila. That's 6%. Therefore, you have 300,000. And since this is term bond, constant ng imuhang interest received diha nga 300,000. Now, your interest income, however, mag-change siya depende sa imuhang carrying amount. So, punta tayo kay carrying amount times 8% ato ang yield. Annually man so 8%. And then, amortization is the difference between received and income. And our carrying amount, is this a discount or a premium? Mas gamay ang carrying amount. Therefore, this is a premium. And if it's a premium, you add the amortization. You have your new carrying amount there. We could proceed to our yield. Ganyan pa rin. And add pa rin because it's a discount. Our goal gani is pila? 5 million. Okay? So, face amount atong goal karon kay dili ni serial. If that is our goal and we are in the last row, huling row na to, so work back na lang ta. That one, the goal versus the outstanding carrying amount. Therefore, we should have an amortization of 92. Therefore, our interest income should be 392. So, notice, kani constant, kani increasing, and kani pod increasing. Okay? Next. Ano sa bang next requirement? Prepare journal entries. Ayan. 3 years. Okay. 1/1/2020. Atong sugdan. Aron atong mahuman. January 1, 2020. Since this is not at amortized cost, dili ta pwedeng mo gamit og investment in bonds. So, we are going to use financial asset at fair value through OCI. And credit, of course, your cash. And that would be your 4742. Okay? And what else? Napabay uban? Wala na. Ato na ta sa year end. 2020. So on year end, typically ang ato ang i-record makadawat ta og interest. So that's cash, and based sa atong na-compute kaganina, our interest income or the interest received will be 300,000. And the amortization, of course, since this is a premium, we're going to record financial asset fair value through OCI and credit your interest income. So, based sa table, andun na din 79,360 for year 1. Alright. Supposedly, maulang ni atong buhaton if amortized cost paunta to. But since this is not amortized cost, instead we are using financial asset through fair value through OCI, napatay another entry. What is that another entry? We're going to update the fair value of our financial asset. Basically, gitawag siyang financial asset at fair value. Dapat lagi siyang at fair value. Now, eto. The bonds mature on December 31. Okay. Ito pala. The bonds are quoted at 105 on December 31, 2020. Dito yon. And 110 on December 31, 2021. So, 2020 pa naman tayo. So, doon tayo sa 105. So, ang fair value daw niya at 2020 is ayan. Sina? Fair value niya daw is 5 million times 105. That's 5.25. Pero how much is the carrying amount? Ang carrying amount niya is actually, kita na to dire, ayan. Therefore, we have a difference of 428,640. Is this a gain or a loss? Ang carrying amount 48, ni Saka og 42. So, I guess this is a gain, right? Okay. So, let's record that gain. And how do we record that gain? We simply increase, we simply increase our financial asset, fair value through OCI, and then debit credit, unrealized gain, OCI. Unrealized gain OCI, palihog butangi og ikog. That is 428,640. Alright. So, this is something new sa kaninga problem. So, pag OCI ta, naa na siya perme. Okay. Next. Our next entry will, I guess, be on December 31, 2021. Wala man tayo i-reverse on January 1 kasi hindi naman yun accrued. So, December 31, 2021, again, makadawat tag cash on the same amount, 300. And we have these entries lang gihapon as usual. First, atong amortization of the discount. Na nato sa year 2, so that would be 85,709. Okay. And atong i-update na pod ang fair value. So this time, year 2021, ang fair value niya is at 110. So that would be 5 million times 1.1. And the carrying amount is ito. How much is the carrying amount? So is the carrying amount still kani? I am doubtful na mao na ang carrying amount. Nganuman, remember na atay gain nga na-recognize ito. So therefore, our carrying amount di ay would be this one. Ato na lang manumanuhon. Kani plus the amortization plus the gain from change plus the amortization, and it will yield to 5,335. And the difference would be 164,291. Or, kung atong gamiton tong 4907069 plus, nalang ko'y gusto i-try ha, if tama ba akong analysis. Kani plus katong gain from change, this one. Ayan, tama din pala. Okay? The carrying amount is actually, we are now in 2021, right? So, supposedly, kanito, 4907. But since this is financial asset at fair value through OCI, napatay laing gina-consider for the carrying amount. So, that means, this, gikan sa imong table, plus, katong changes last year. Kani. Okay? The 428,640. Because eventually, ato siyang gi-add. Ayan, gi-debit nato. So, therefore, ato dapat nang i-consider sa carrying amount. Because wala yan dito sa table of amortization natin. Wala kang makikitang change of fair value dyan. Okay? Kaya, let's include it. So, ganun pa rin naman. 5.335709 and that will yield to 164,291 change. Is it gain? Yes. 5.3 tapos ni Saka og 5.5. It's a gain. Now, for the last year, we have 12/31/2022 and this is the year na magmamature na yun siya. At last, naabot na yun yung stage of maturity. Okay, so ganun pa rin. We have 300 here. And amortization will be the same diri sa ato ang amortization table. Okay. Now, since we're already on the year or on the date of amortization, maturity, then maka-receive na tag cash. Bayaran na taniya. Pila to yung utang? Was it 3 million? Okay, 3 million ihang utang. And let us close as well our financial asset at fair value through OCI. So, ato na siyang hawaon sa atong records. But the question is, pila ang balance ana? Pila ang carrying amount? That would basically be the 5 million plus katong changes gihapon. The 528 and katong change for 2021 nga 164. And that will yield to 5.592931. I'm sorry, the cash is 5 million pala. Okay. And kaning mga unrealized gain, kanang mga unrealized gain din ha, ato na pud nang tanggalon. Eliminate the unrealized gain, OCI. And how much is that? We have 428 for year 1 and we have 92 for year 2. That's a total of 500. Ala, dilagi pariha. Wait. 428 plus the 92 ba? Ay, ara di ay 164. Okay, 592,931. So, total 559,559,2,931. So, balance lang siya. So, unsa to? Basta fair value through OCI, murag gihapon siya bond investment, pero naa kay consider nga changes sa fair value. So, kaning imong amortization din hindi na siya mausab, murag gihapon na siya para sa bonds. What's new? Kani, kailangan nimo i-compare every year except on the date of maturity. So, on the date of maturity, what do you have to remember? I-close ang kaning unrealized gain OCI. So, close mo na yan para wala nang maiwan. Okay? Okay. So, I think that would be it. That's it for bond investment. Nakasugakod ra gyud ta. Okay, so kung naipangutana, palihog ko Grace. So, while nag-formulate mo sa inyong pangutana, if there's any, let me remind you that again, next week will be our exam. And the coverage for the exam will be until the topic na atong ma-discuss. So far, na-discuss na kutob diri sa bond investment, then the exam will be from the beginning until this topic. But next week, mag-discuss pa man gihapon ta. So, kung ano yung magiging included sa discussion next week, kasali din yun sa coverage ng exam. Anyway, the exam is Wednesday, Thursday, right? Wednesday, Thursday. So, most probably nata sa Thursday. Thursday ang ato ang sked. Okay, so, ganito. The next topic would be reclassification. Okay, reclassification. As I was scanning, actually, the reclassification is an easy topic. Daghan kag kailangan timan-an, pero technical lang siya. It's less analytical. Di mo kailangang squeeze gyud ang 100 billion neurons sa imong brain para sa reclassification. Okay, so please scan your modules na lang din so that wala tayong ma-miss na topic. Okay?